Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Leilani. You could also call me Lay. Today I'm going to do a new reading vlog. I'm just trying to get out the house today. So I'm going to go to the library and try to get a library card and just read there for a few hours and then go grocery shopping. The book I'm going to bring is In Deeper Waters. My friend gave this to me for either Christmas or my birthday. And I'm just happy because it's basically just gay pirates and it's everything that I love in general. So I'm hoping this is a good book. But this is what I plan on reading. I'm gonna get ready and then I'm gonna head out. So giving you an update when I have one. Okay, so I'm back from the library. It's later in the evening. I didn't end up going grocery shopping, but that's fine. Went to the bakery, got some snacks. But I did read some pages of In Deeper Waters, and we follow around Tal, who is a prince, and it's his coming of age 16th birthday, or he's 16 now. So what happens is when you're 16, he goes on a ship with his brother, and he basically travels just to see the lands. During the travels, there's a shipwreck that they find with Athens, I think that's how they pronounce his name, and he's stranded there, basically left to die. So Tal is a type of person who is like a caring, understanding, wants everything to be okay type of thing, and he frees Athens, and Athens finds out that Tal has magic, and magic is semi-forbidden, and like everybody is afraid of anyone who has magic because the last mage who had magic was evil. And Athens is seems like a very outgoing, adventurous type of person and is amazed that Tal has any type of magic at all. But since he was freed, he jumped ship, and that's where I left off, and that's basically chapter 1. The other book that I finished was a short graphic novel called I'm a Wild Seed. I'll put a picture here. And it's about Sharon and their life of like, you get like little snippets of their life, and they talk about like their understanding of being queer and then also being black, and then how that looks for them, and then also how it looks to like society's view. But also during this like short book, you get small histories that are like main events that are important that are not taught in history, or at least the history class I was in. And I'm happy I read it, and it makes me interested in like learning more about it, because there's like one section where it's like the inspiration of why there are gay bars. It's because it used to be illegal for anybody who was queer to be in bars, because like if you drink you might like end up kissing another girl or kissing another guy, and like that was forbidden. And there was protest and there was riots. But yeah, and it just makes you feel like more intrigued to see what happens, so like you don't need the full story in the graphic novel, because if it sparks an interest, like you're most likely gonna like do research about it later on. Also, its main focus, it was about like race, power, and privilege, and I really just enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And I decided that this vlog is going to be me reading queer books on the LGBTQ plus community, because this is gay. The one that I just wrote was, I'll just say that one's queer, because she touched up on the fact that they dated men and dated women, but they didn't state that they were a lesbian or bisexual, queer. Yeah, I think I'm going to continue reading In Deeper Waters, and then we'll figure out what book to read after. So I'll talk to you later. All right, good morning. It is currently 6:38 on June 30th. Woo! Here's the thing. My goal was to have this vlog out like a week or two ago, but I have not been reading. So, it wasn't possible. To let you know, I'm only on chapter 4 in Deeper Waters. But to give you a catch-up lesson, because I think the last thing I talked to you about was Athens jumping off of a boat, Tal ends up going to a new town, runs into Athens. They have like little sparks flying. We find out more deeper lore into why people are afraid of Tal's powers. It's because his great-grandfather, who had the exact same powers, used it to basically mess up the whole kingdom, and nobody trusts anybody with that type of power. But there's also different magic inside of the kingdom. For example, his brother is, I guess you could say, like a shapeshifter. And the thing is, like, I think Athens also has a power. It's kind of secretive. But I'm enjoying it so far. I'm just taking my time reading, and I'm making like a lot of tabs and stuff. So the other book that I picked up was Loveless by Alice Oseman, and I'm listening to it on audio. But we follow around Georgia, who's the main character, and she and her friends just graduated high school. But the thing is, she's never kissed anybody or dated anybody, but she is a big person on romance. She reads all the romances, she watches all the romances, and she dreams of like that fairy tale first kiss. But the thing is, when she gets into situations that are romantic, like kissing or holding hands or going on a date, she gets the feeling of uncomfortability and nervousness to the point where it makes her want to actually throw up. So we find out that she is aromantic and asexual, and how Alice Oseman handles this topic is A plus chef's kisses, because you get to understand how Georgia feels about it. Like, do we get into like deeper conversations about how she actually feels, and then on top of that, you have conversations along with her friends that talk about like what type of person do you see yourself dating, and then it also goes into like deeper personal questions about like sex life and stuff. But how everything's handled is really well. But there is drama, because during this process of Georgia finding herself, she is experimenting with her sexuality, which is also hurting her friends, and the drama around it is like, ooh, girl, ooh, you know what I'm saying? But I really like it. There's also a sense of, so the book is basically revolved around a Shakespeare club that's trying to revive itself. So they have one last chance to like put on these plays and like get people to actually join the club. So there's a lot of Shakespeare talk and all this other stuff. So I think that's the only thing that I don't really care about, because I don't really like Shakespeare. I'm gonna piss people off, but I don't really like reading Shakespeare. I'm fine with like people talking about it, because like the discussions around Shakespeare is awesome. Me reading Shakespeare, it's not something I enjoy. But so far, I think I have like 2 to 3 hours left. I plan on finishing the book at work today, and then I think I might pick up another audiobook. Don't know which one, but yeah, I just noticed how tired I look. But I'll give you an update when I have one. Okay, so just want to let you know that I did end up reading a different book that wasn't In Deeper Waters. I kind of set the book down because I don't actually know what I'm in the mood for, and I don't think I'm in the mood for that book at the moment. So I picked up the last volume that I have of Heartstopper, Volume 4. I did a Heartstopper vlog for the first 3 volumes in a previous video. So this is the next book, and oh my god. this one is my favorite one. I think number 1 and 4 are my favorite ones. So I gave this book a 5 stars. Anyways, I don't really know how to spoil it, or I know how to spoil it. I just don't want to spoil it. But this one involves like heavier topics like mental illness and eating disorders. But basically we see a deeper, darker side of Charlie. And it just made me cry. I cried so much during this book. Nick is a sweetheart. Nick is there to support Charlie through his needs and try to help him like reach out to his parents and to his other friends so they're not so worried about what he's going through, so they all are on like the same understanding. I just love how much support that everyone gives Charlie in general when they find out like his condition and where he's at mentally. And I was just like, I cried a lot. I'm about to cry right now. Oh my god, it's so good. It's just so good. I just love Nick. I love Charlie too, but I just love how Nick is just ride or die there for him no matter what. And I really recommend the Heartstopper series if you have not read it. It is on what is it, Webtoons, if you want to read it on Webtoons, the app for free. I don't think because I didn't read it on Webtoons, but I was like glimpsing the part of it, but I don't think they're like in colors. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just like black and white on Webtoon. But 5 stars. The other book that I've been listening to audibly is Loveless by Alyssa Osman, because why not? You know, why not continue this lovely lady? So we follow around, who do we follow around? Let me see. Let me tell you, because I don't have the audiobook with me, but I'm enjoying it. It's basically Ace Rep. And okay, so we follow around Georgia in Loveless. I'll put up a picture here. She just graduated high school, but like the first scene is like they're at their last senior kickback party with her friends. She's never dated anyone or kissed anybody, and they're playing like this truth or dare drinking game or something. And she admits that she hasn't like kissed anybody, and like most of the students are assholes about it. And she ends up almost kissing the crush that she thought she liked, but she gets this uncomfortable feeling and like moves away from him and stuff. So she was like confused about like, I've had a crush on him for so long, why wouldn't I want to kiss him? But she just felt, it was like this like, I like how they described it. It was like a uncomfortable pressure, like unsettling type of feeling, and I was like, relatable. But then she ends up going to college with her best friends and joining a LGBTQ plus community to become an ally. And she learns about what ACE is and that it's on the spectrum, but there's a variety. Somebody just emailed me, but there's a variety of like what ACE looks like to different peoples, because it like sits on different people. So she would be classified as asexual, aromantic, and I really love how Alice Oseman knows how to like inform people about being asexual. And I really love how sex positive this book is, because the dorm that Georgia stays with, she has a new roommate, and her roommate is someone who likes to venture out and has been partying and sleeping with other people, but she's also like this sweetheart, but then also like don't mess with her type of vibes. But you could also see there's like something holding her back, and Georgia and her become like friends. So I'll give you an update on what else to expect, but so far I'm liking it. There is like a Shakespeare element to it, because they're about to like have a play with different types of Shakespeare like monologues and stuff, like the best of the best in like one play. That sections or like stuff like that I don't really care for, because I don't really care for like reading Shakespeare, but I do like watching Shakespeare stuff, which is weird. But all in all, so far I'm liking it. I'll give you an update later, because I am listening to the audiobook because I don't have physical form. So yes. Okay, welcome to the end of this reading vlog. You're gonna be like, why is your hair shorter? Well, it's been about a month or two, or like a month and a half maybe. And when I was editing this vlog, all of the files decided to be corrupt. So I tried to save as much video footage as I could. Some stuff couldn't be saved, and instead of scrapping this video, I'm just going to do like a wrap up at the end of this. So it is now August, my hair is shorter, but here's the wrap up. I didn't continue in Deeper Waters only because I wasn't in a romance fantasy mood and I was enjoying the book, but I didn't want to push through and give it a lower rating just in case of my mood reading. So I was still in chapter 4, so there's no updates, but I plan to pick this up when I'm in another romance fantasy mood. The other book that I did complete is Alice Oseman's Loveless. I'll put a picture up, and I'm gonna give it a 3.5 stars. And I really enjoyed the characters, how Alice Oseman portrayed Georgia. I really like the fact that it's wholesome to an extent, but it's also relatable in the fact of how like friends talk to each other, how college and like pressure of society could harm like somebody's mental health. I like the fact that most of the book is sex positive. I love the descriptions of asexuality, but then also going into like queerness or other aspects of LGBT community. I did listen to this book on audio. I wish that I had it physically because I know there's a lot of information that was in the book that I wish I could like underlined, because I really enjoyed how Alice Oseman wrote about being asexual. But I think my goal now is just to read everything Alice Oseman writes, because they never miss. It's always a hit. So really love that. The other 2 books that I finished are both graphic novels. So one is Check Please, and this isn't really a romance. I would say this is a coming of age going to college. So we follow around Biddy, and he is a vlogger, a baker, a skater, and now a hockey player at Samuel University. And this follows around his freshman and sophomore year. I'll give you like a little glimpse of what it looks like. So basically, his name's Eric, but they call him Biddy on the team, so that's what I'm gonna call him. So he basically is like, hello internet, Biddy here. And it's a very, very wholesome book. I really like this. I like the baking element. I like how all his teammates made him feel comfortable with being gay, because he wasn't going to tell anybody that he was gay, but he did end up telling one teammate, and that teammate was like proud and excited for him and happy that he felt comfortable enough to let him in on who he is. And Biddy semi has a crush on Jack, who is the main, not the main hockey player, but he's the captain of the hockey team. And Jack is someone who is mostly serious, mostly quiet, and Biddy is very outgoing and wholesome and wants to please everybody. But Biddy on ice is scared to be, it's not tackled, I don't know what it's called in like hockey terms, but like hit on ice, right? So Jack tries to help him conquer his fear. With that, we get a lot of cute moments with the whole team, and them being supportive. His family is very supportive of who he is, and yeah, I really like the book. I wish there was more scenes between Jack and Biddy. I do wish there was more scenes just with Jack in general. But yeah, I liked it. There's a little bit of conflict, but that's on like Jack's side with like an old school friend who like shows up out of nowhere. But all in all, I would say this is like a 3-star book. The other one that I read is called Chef's Kiss, and this is also not really a romance until like the end of the book as well. But this follows Ben Cook, who just graduated high school. So this is a very adulting book, because Ben just graduated, not high school, he graduated college, and he is looking for a job that he got his degree in, which was like writing. But every job he goes to turns him down because they're like, you need more experience in writing. He was like, what was the point of college for then? So because he's not getting hired at the jobs he wants, he starts applying for other jobs. And some of those jobs turn him down too, until he finds a restaurant that is hiring. And the head chef, I believe his name is Liam, decides to hire him. But the owner of the restaurant is like, no, right? Because Ben doesn't have that much experience cooking. But the owner's like, if you're going to be a chef at my restaurant, you have to forego like these 3 trials. And basically the owner has like this pig who is very picky and particular about the food that he eats. So everything the chef makes when it comes to new recipes, if his pig doesn't like it, he's not going to serve it in his restaurant. So Ben basically goes into training with 3 different chefs inside the restaurant, and his goal is to please the pig, and then at the end the result is like he could be hired full-time as a chef. But during this, you find out that Ben is developing a little crush on Liam. His friends are happy that he has a job, but then also his best friend is very like she misses him, so it starts a conflict because they're so used to like hanging out together, but he's putting all his time into working, and it's basically straining their friendship. And then Ben's parents are trash. I don't like Ben's parents at all. But all in all, I really like this. I feel like this is a very good book. It's so good. Also, I'll show you like what the design looks like. And then in the back, it has like meet the characters. So you get like a little thing about them. But also what I like is there's like fan art in the back. So like you can have like this cute fan art, or like these cute fan arts. But all in all, good comic. I gave it a 3.5 stars. But those are all the books that I wanted to update you on. And yeah, if you have any recommendations, please let me know. I did buy a book called Are You Asexual, and it's basically a choose your own adventure type of book, so I'm excited to read that. I heard good things about it. But again, leave recommendations in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video.